3,
two,
1.
one.
Monkey bars. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Thicc and Better podcast. My name is Alex,
I'm Jesse.
aka Thicc,
I'm Butter. And
this is episode
65.
65. And we are joined today by two wonderful guests, Eric Smith and Sean Cole.
Yeah. Hi. Hello. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you guys so much.
We have her on the anime episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you guys,
man.
Jarod? Can you guys say your full name and then your favorite animal? And Jarod, go first.
Okay, my full name?
Well,
Jarod Smith.
What's your middle name? Yeah.
And your social security number.
Yeah, right, here we go. My name is Jarod Barton Smith.
Oh,
yeah.
And my favorite animal has got to be a rhinoceros.
Wow, that's so appropriate.
I need to know why. Why?
Why? Because when I was in kindergarten, I had to do a project on rhinoceri, and I learned that their horns are.
Is that the plural of rhinoceros?
That's another great question.
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go with this. And I learned that their horns.
Yeah,
their horns are made of hair, which I thought was
ew. I guess they're just like fingernails, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. Ew.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's gross.
Oh, tell me your favorite animal.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Sean Michael Cole, and my favorite animal is a penguin.
That seems so appropriate as well. I knew someone was going to say penguin.
I fucking love penguins.
What's your favorite? What is your middle name? Well, we know your middle name, Alex. That's kind of obvious. Well, no one actually. Yeah. What's your first name?
Thicc. Oh yeah. Thicc. Thicc.
That's on the birth certificate. Thicc Alex Deathrow.
Dude, this is actually a good question. I don't know. Jesse, what's your favorite animal?
Well, you have to go first.
Me?
Yeah, because you're on the stand.
I was stalling. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to say, I love monkeys, man.
Okay, that's a good answer.
I'm just fascinated. I saw this video. I feel like we talk about monkeys a lot, but
it's a theme. It's definitely a theme.
There was one video, this recent video I saw of the monkey. This guy, I guess, has a pet monkey, and he gives the monkey a water bottle, like a hydro flask kind of deal, and the monkey grabs it. He looks at it, and he's happy that he received this water bottle. He screws it off. He literally grabs it, screws it off, looks inside, grabs like the instruction manual and starts reading the instructions, and he looks in, and then he picks up the lid and screws it back on.
Man,
isn't that crazy?
Well, don't give that monkey a car manual.
I just what freaked me out about monkeys is that was the most human thing I've ever seen of a monkey. He knew how to grab the water bottle lid, twist it off, look inside like, oh, there's no water in here, pick up the lid, screw it back on.
Yeah, I think it's fucked up when you look at a monkey. If you look at it close, which I'm sure we all have at some point in our lives, we looked at a monkey deep in the eyes, and it's like you see personality so much more than
Bro, I feel like some monkeys are more advanced than me, man.
Sean is absolutely right.
I can't agree.
Way smarter than us.
Yeah.
Then I saw there was I think I told you this, Jesse.
Yeah.
There was a picture I saw of a monkey spear fishing. He had obviously watched humans do this.
Mhm.
So he was with a stick, and he was like hanging by the tree, like looking at the water, like with the spear ready to get a fish.
I fully support the extinction of monkeys.
Whoa! What? Obliterate all monkeys?
Dude, they're too advanced.
Oh,
They're too
okay.
advanced. We
Planet
can't
of
allow
the
it.
Apes shit. They're gonna take over, dude.
Take them out before us.
Terminator, it's the monkeys, man.
Oh man,
the
that's
robots, AI. It's gonna be
Dude,
the monkeys that
that's a
take us
fucking-
over.
it's a fucking episode title. Fucking episode 67, Exterminate the Monkeys. Except this is 65.
All right, Jesse,
67 is going to be a banger, though.
Yeah,
Banger.
I'm sure. My full name is Jesse Dean, like the Dean Milk, spelled the same, linear.
Wait, the milk?
They need milk?
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
you guys don't know Dean Milk?
You do?
What are you talking about?
Who's Dean?
You're in the wrong.
Why does he have milk?
Hold on, I gotta look this up. You guys, you're telling me that when you are.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Thank
Wait,
you.
let me pull it up.
Dean milk.
How can it be that Pittsburgh is so far away from Louisville and Ohio is like it's spitting
Listen,
distance?
we don't drink that Dean milk over here.
What are you guys
Who's
doing? What
Dean?
is you? What's your? I'm Dean. I'm
Why
Dean.
are you
I own
looking
all
Dean?
the milk.
You
Don't
can't even pronounce it correctly.
get back. What are you? What is? How is it pronounced? Milk.
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 I want some Dane's milk. I actually typed in milk, like M-A-L-K.
Bro,
I am not
you
surprised.
spell phonetically?
Spell well. You know, I probably have been spelling and doing it more because Eva's dyslexic. So the shit that
Really?
the shit that she. Well, you didn't know that Eva's
Wow.
dyslexic?
What?
Have you seen like her handwriting or her notes?
Yeah,
It's
it
great.
looks fine to do.
Well, the
I
spelling
mean,
of
have you
it.
read my handwriting?
Yeah, well,
Looks
no,
like a
it's not her.
chicken road.
Her handwriting. She has great handwriting. It's just that she spells phonetically, so she spells things
Right.
crazily.
Right,
and
right, right,
sometimes,
right,
if a
right.
word's not like phonetic at all,
Yeah.
she just has to guess because she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So, so I've been like, and I think that I have been spelling things and pronouncing things worse.
Wow.
Of things after like dating Eva. Look, okay,
Blame your dyslexic girlfriend for your mispronunciations.
listen. This is not my fault. Okay,
What am I
you guys see
looking at?
that? You're looking at Dean's milk.
Oh, yes. No, I've seen
Okay.
that.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I've seen
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Well, I didn't even
I've
get to
only-
say. Go ahead.
I've only ever seen that like in the cafeteria or something.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
one brings
like
that
the
home and
little
has it
bit.
in their fridge.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think that my family produces very good milk. I don't know if it's something's wrong with our titties or something, but a lot of people don't really like our milk that much.
Anyway.
What's the middle
What's your
of you?
favorite animal?
My favorite animal is probably a bear.
Yo,
So many
that
bears.
reminds me-
Which
That
one?
fucking reminds me.
Black bears.
No,
No,
black
grizzlies.
Bears.
Jesse, did you run
What?
into a fucking bear?
Yeah.
the other day?
Yeah, I did. I ran
I
into a
did
bear.
too.
You what?
Dude, oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
in
something that I
Tennessee.
wanted. That's something that I wanted to ask both of y'all because you guys
Okay.
were in Tennessee, right? Sean and Jared, right?
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
both.
Okay, I was looking at Tiff's story, and there was just like a baby bear on the story, and I was like, they're dead. They're gonna die. Like because like the biggest thing, if you see a cub, you fucking run because
Yeah.
if mom is around, you ain't getting that out. You're not getting out of that alive.
Dude,
So
I don't fucking care if the mom's around. That baby's gonna fucking rip your head off. They didn't give a fuck.
That's
yeah,
true.
absolutely.
That's
That
true.
too.
Fuck.
But like, wait, so how
Did that
close
happen?
were y'all to the
Yeah.
bear?
Like, could have touched it.
Like, and it's just like
Like
a
that
wild bear. It
close.
was a wild bear that was just walking around.
Yeah, because we were at this like campground
Holy
type thing where there was a bunch of
crap.
cabins, and
Yeah.
they obviously knew what was up because the baby showed up the first day, and then the mama showed up one of the other days, and then it was all the mom, dad, and the baby all together on our driveway.
Holy shit!
My
They were
God.
wild.
But you
One of
guys
them-
were like chilling from the cabin, right?
we had like a wraparound deck and we were inside, but they were on the deck.
Oh, wow.
Like they did a lap around, and everyone was like looking at the windows and following them.
That
Holy
is
shit.
horrifying. That is the
Yeah.
scariest thing I've ever
I didn't make it. I died.
heard.
This is an after image.
Yeah, I got eaten.
This is the ghost of Sean.
we lost Sean. Man, well, was there any other casualties besides Sean? Like everyone was okay?
The bear almost broke Tiff's mom's iPad, which was pretty funny.
What are you talking about?
Like, okay. We on the wraparound deck, there was a little table, and she was out there with her iPad drinking coffee, and then the bear like peeked its head around the corner, and she was like, "Oh shit." And got up and went inside, and then the bear came over and started slurping up her coffee and almost like knocked it over onto her iPad.
Dude,
oh my god!
I would have. If that was me, I would have poop all over my pants. I mean, like, just that's so frightening.
It was wild.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's a once in a lifetime experience to be that close to a bear.
Unless you go back, because I bet they're still there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they're because they come around for food and stuff, right? They just know that people are like just leaving their trash around. It's like that's the place to be.
Absolutely,
it's like a buffet.
That's so crazy because I remember like back to like monkeys. Like when I was in Costa Rica like years ago, the hotel we were staying at, these spider monkeys would come by the outside deck because people were there and they knew that people were giving people food. And I had heard a story there when people were giving monkeys Oreos, and the monkeys knew how to like take the top off the Oreo and eat the stuff, which is like crazy that they were like, no, this is the good stuff. Exactly what humans do.
This is why we need to exterminate monkeys.
Kill them all.
Save the crane.
Okay, so like when we
know what the best part of an Oreo is. A monkey should look at an Oreo and be like, all right, I'm gonna shove this whole fucking thing in my mouth.
Right.
If a monkey knows that the cream is the best part of a cookie,
I think the monkey was just watching humans do that. And he's like, I'm gonna do it. You know.
Well, in our slideshow called "Exterminate Monkeys," which we present to the next president of the United States, whoever he may be, Cardi B. When we present it to the next Miss President, Cardi B. We will present our slideshow. Evidence number one, Miss Cardi B, Miss President Cardi B. It is Mr. President. Do you say Mr. President name or do you say President name?
I'm pretty sure it's Mrs. Wet Ass Pussy.
Mrs. Okay, that's right. Mrs. President Lap. Evidence number one of why we should exterminate all monkeys. Look at this Oreo. Do you see this?
Yeah,
she would know.
They know.
About.
Jesse, tell me what your bear experience.
Well, it wasn't nearly as intense as that. Now I feel like as a pussy because I was scared as fuck. Because
I was too. That is a normal reaction to have.
Yeah,
bro. I kissed the bear on the lips.
Kiss the bear. Well, that's why you're dead, Sean.
I would love
and that's why you have no lips, because the bear took them from you when you schnogged it. I saw a bear when Eva and I went hiking, and there was like this gully, and it was just on the far side of the gully, and so we just kind of talked the whole time because we were just kind of worried that a bear would spook us. So it wasn't very close at all, but I was constantly worried that it was going to jump me.
So did we all just turn around and walk the other way?
No, we just continued on the hike, and I was just really hoping it didn't turn left towards the bear.
I mean, what types of bears are the aggressive ones? Are they the black bear? The grizzly bears are like really aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Black bears are not aggressive.
Were those the ones that you saw? The black bears in Tennessee?
Yes, they were black bears.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That eases.
So if you wanted to run into a bear, you want to run into a black bear.
Yeah. You don't want to run into bears.
Right.
No.
But if you had the
is there like a
the only thing about bears is
what?
Is that some bears are like, okay, if this guy plays dead, I ain't gonna fuck with him. And then other bears are like, if this guy plays dead, I'm gonna eat his ass. He needs to be killed in order for me to not eat him.
Yeah.
And like, both of them are brown bears. So like, how the fuck are you supposed to know?
Yeah.
It's a personality thing. You have to gauge a bear by its.
How do you read a bear?
So what? So you looked a bear in the eye, and you had the two decisions of playing dead. This is directed towards you, Sean. Of playing dead, or like fighting and trying to be aggressive, and you decided to kiss it. Lover, yeah.
I mean, I'm just scared of bears because I just think about, like, I think that if you were gonna get killed by any animal,
yeah,
I think a bear might be the worst way to go.
It'd be pretty
Because
brutal.
how they kill you or how they eat is they put their big ass paw on you and just start taking bits out of you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a shark, it's like one chop.
Well, okay, I was going to say that.
Tiger, they just, like, if a tiger is about to attack me, I'll just, like, give it the neck out. You know?
Yeah,
like,
give it the neck.
A bear,
a
bear is like, they're gonna savor you. You know?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I would really not like dying underwater, so I don't think I would like to be eaten by a shark. I think I would rather be like on the flat ground with a bear's weight on my chest and hope that it would just like suffocate me right there.
Right.
And just like be like, well, these are nice trees at least, as opposed to like being underwater and not being able to breathe. I think that'd be spooky.
I guess that's true. I could.
Do you know what else pisses me off about bears, though? Okay, so like, bears eat fucking trash.
Yeah.
But they also eat humans. So it's like, show some fucking respect, dude.
Yeah, how rude.
Like, if you want to
trash or human.
Right, exactly. Like, this is such a comparison that offends me deeply. It's like, don't put me on that level.
Yeah. What would you prefer to be like if you had to be like an entree? What would you prefer to be served with? Like
cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce.
Question.
Okay.
Would you rather be a motorcycle ganger or a testicle monster?
I'd rather be a gang member.
What a segue.
Testicle monster. Definitely a testicle monster.
Well, I don't know why I wouldn't choose testicle monster.
Yeah. What would you choose,
Yeah,
Jared?
what a fucking dumbass for choosing bike gang.
Why ride bikes when you could be a testicle?
And I think Jared's question is a perfect segue into the movie that we're going to talk about, which is the classic anime film from 1988.
You can't get more classic than that, baby.
Called, Akira.
Akira!
Akira. And this is a film that I have seen before, but years ago. Years and years ago. And when I saw it for the first time when I was like in high school, I don't think I fully appreciated what I was watching at the time. Because, you know, I would believe it's probably one of my first anime movies I ever saw. So I didn't really I liked it, but I didn't really get the significance of this movie until I watched it again a couple of days ago. And so, Jesse, do you want to introduce this movie?
Yes. Yes. So this movie is a brainchild by
yeah, I have his name up here.
His second name, also Japanese. I think his last name is Otomo, but he's fucking brilliant. And this is an anime adaptation of a very, very long manga that this man created. And this kind of came out and blew everyone's mind because it sort of set the stage of how crazy 2D animation could be, and also that Japanese animation was no joke. This is also around the time when, last time Wizards we were talking about adult animation, but this was still like that whole 10-year period, 11-year period, I suppose. It still was very controversial to be making cartoons for adults. So this was another huge movement and historical period that sort of just changed how animation was made and how we thought of anime in general, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah,
it's
and
really
I think
cool.
like what you're saying too, I think this is, you know, the movie that kind of broke anime out into America, the Western world, because a lot of when I first heard about this movie, it was compared to movies like Blade Runner, which I don't really think this is that similar to Blade Runner.
It's cyberpunk. It's definitely cyberpunk.
The aesthetic of it is kind of similar. But so I first heard this movie where I think like I saw George Lucas or something like in an interview talk about how much he loves this movie and how much it like blew him away when he saw it 1988. And yeah, so I'm excited to talk about this movie because this movie is fucking awesome. I think this movie is so goddamn cool. But I got a gift from Zoom.
Oh yeah, we got upgraded to unlimited minutes. I didn't know we didn't know we didn't have unlimited minutes. I love this movie too, and I've read the manga, so I'm deeply obsessed with this story.
Oh, wow. I never read the manga. I didn't know it was based on a manga until you said it.
Yeah, I can. I'm hoping to get a little bit nerdy about it, depending on what you guys say. So I'm just going to kind of follow you guys. But I've seen this movie twice now, and the second time it really kind of clicked with me about why this is so impactful. But what about you two? What is your experience with this movie?
This movie hurt me. It was too crazy and too dope for me.
Yeah.
And also, Tetsuo is Mewtwo.
Tetsuo! Oh my god! This is Mewtwo Strikes Back. Oh my god!
I couldn't stop thinking about that the whole movie.
That's so fucking funny.
But really, though, that was the thing that I kept thinking about when I was watching it. I was like, wow, there's so many other things that I've seen that are taken from this movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, just that.
Was this the first time you saw it, Jared?
Yeah, I had never seen or heard of this movie before.
That's fucking cool.
So
that's cool,
man.
What about you, Sean?
I give this movie, spoiler alert, a solid 8 out of 10. I've seen this movie 4 times, and I fucking love it. It is a wild fucking ride, and holy shit, Jesse, you talk about the manga, and like the first time I watched this movie, I was like utterly confused and blown away, and just like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
And then I learned that it was a manga, and that it was a long manga. It's not just like a manga. So it's like the pacing of the movie makes so much more sense once you realize that, like, okay, this is based off like a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Because Akira does not waste a fucking breath. Like,
no.
There is literally no downtime in this 2-hour long movie.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does not feel like a 2-hour long movie at all.
No, you just blazed right through it. Jesus Christ, by the seat of your pants, you're just holding on for dear life, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on every moment.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck is in Akira?
And like, it's funny you said that, because like, when I had that first experience when I watched this, so I was like, I don't know, like the ending to this movie, like I was like, what happened? Like I was like, I know, and I would love to talk to people, like talk to you guys about it, because I love the ending, but I'm still pretty confused what happened. But I think this, but like what Jared was saying, that like when I was watching this again, you know, it's shocking. It's shocking how influential this movie is. Like I even got like a lot of like superhero movie and comic book, like superhero comic book movies that come out today vibes from this movie. Especially like there was a movie that just came out recently, like kind of called Brightburn, that's kind of about like not similar to this, but in the way of it's like a Superman, like if this if someone who has complete these amazing powers like telekinesis like Tetsuo does and kind of turns not I wouldn't say evil, but uses his power for
Personal
destruction.
gain.
Yeah, personal exactly.
Yeah.
So like that storyline has been so many comic book movies and so many stuff since this movie.
Yeah.
Which I thought was super interesting.
Yeah, it's kind
not,
of
not to mention its influence on anime. Period.
Yeah,
you know?
it kind of unintentionally invented an anti-hero through Tetsuo, which everyone has just been kind of trying to replicate that, and everything. Then everyone's trying to be doing like this, like psychic powered person, and all these themes with it that like just. In my opinion, still don't really even come close. Like, I don't think that this, like, the character of Tetsuo is really comparable to any kind of like antagonist / anti-hero person.
I definitely agree with that, and I think the reason because the Canada, this is funny that
Canada. Well, it's Canada.
Canada.
I thought it was Canada.
It depends. See, there's a lot of different. Let's clear this up real quick. Did you guys listen? Did you listen to, dubs or subs?
We did the dub.
We did the dub. We didn't realize we did the dub until after.
Okay. Did you listen? Yeah. Did you listen to the 1998 dub or the 2001 dub?
1998.
Not sure.
You listened to the 1998 dub?
Well, I've seen both. I'm pretty sure we listened to the 1998 dub. What's so you guys that's currently on Hulu?
So you guys listen to like the hysterically like laughable dub.
Dude, oh my god.
I loved it.
The Colonel in this movie is so fucking funny.
I didn't watch the dub. I gotta watch the dub now.
Character.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I watched the subtitles.
I watched.
Oh my god!
I watched the sub version because the dub version is okay. So here's another detail about this movie, which Sean, you probably know about this since you've seen it 4 times and seen all the versions. But they did pre-recording, so they pre-recorded the audio for it. So for the Japanese version, the lips are actually synced to the Japanese audio.
Right.
So it looks fucking impeccable when you listen to it with like the Japanese audio. And I think I listened to the first time I watched it, I listened to the 1998 version, and it's still awesome because it's mostly a visual movie, but to me it adds a lot from my experience to watch it with the sub version. It's still great when we watch it however way you prefer, but that's just a detail that's like if you want to be a nerd about it.
I honestly feel like the dub set like the common anime dub tropes that like happen still like to this day, solely based off like the Colonel character. Like he is saying the most outrageously like unironic, like unintentionally fucking hilarious lines with such sincerity and passion, and that like you would find in like if you saying lines that actually made sense and had some tact to them, you would be like, wow, this is a stellar voice performance.
Yeah.
Which it is, obviously. But in the dub, he's like saying shit like, hold on, I have notes, but I don't want to take.
Yeah, I'm also looking at my notes.
So like some funny the shit he says.
So like some of the translations in anime is just bananas. That's a big thing about that's a big thing on manga too, is that you really have to work really hard to find decent. Berserk is a big problem that I know of, because Berserk is one of like the most famous manga series ever and everyone like loves it, but some of the shit that is like translated to it is just insane.
Right.
Did you find something, Jarod?
Yeah. He says to act or not act. It's I forget. That's like the second half of the.
Yeah, that's when the
first half is.
My decision is not to oh fuck! I just like watched that scene like right before this, but he was talking. This is right after he's talking to the shriveled lady psychic, and he's like, "This is my decision. If this is like the right or wrong thing to do. It is to act or not to act."
Oh my god!
So that didn't quite carry over in translation.
Yeah, but can you watch the Can you watch both versions on Hulu?
I thought you could, but maybe the dub version was available.
They have the dub.
I just saw the sub.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Honestly, though, like, if this, I know this is a podcast dedicated to the movie Akira, but we could have an entirely separate podcast dedicated to the Colonel. Based on the dub.
That'd be funny. Well, now I kind of want to watch the dub too, because if it's funny, it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to say that so how I was watching this is I was just kind of taking stream of consciousness notes, one sentence as I was watching this, and the very first thing I wrote is racist ass black biker dude. Tell me you guys noticed that too.
Yeah, well, the clown guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
was like, oh my god, what is this?
Historical significance? Does anybody know? Like, what is the historical significance behind anime, like, producing very stereotypical, like, blackface animations of African American people?
I actually know a little bit about this. I know a little bit about this because my friend is who has gone to Japan. My friend Devlin. He has talked to me a little bit about this, and I've just done some research on this because I recently rewatched One Punch Man and saw that terrible racial stereotype in season 2 of One Punch Man that I was like, I can't believe I just didn't even like recognize how like crazy that came out like last year, and it's like just it's super racist. But the reason for this, which actually Adam talked about too in his Kimba the White Lion review. Or I don't know if that's actually in there. Wait, I think I might be misremembering that. But the guy, there's stuff in that too, where there's a lot of Japanese artists who will depict African Americans in this really racist stereotype. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One of them is that there's no black people in Japan, so they have no context for like what's appropriate for being like racially appropriate. Secondly, so this might be unintentional. Secondly, they might just be racist. That's something that happens where Japanese people are kind of racist towards black people. It happens. They just don't have a lot of experience with it. Another thing is that a lot of Japanese animation takes from American animation, especially older Disney cartoons and a lot of the older stuff. Yeah. So a lot of these adaptations, you see these people like in the 80s, where Japanese artists were inspired by Americans, and they see how they portray like black people, and they're basically just copying those very, very racist stereotypes. So a lot of times, sometimes it is intentionally racist, but a lot of times it's just Japanese people just copying or just thinking that that's just how you draw black people. Which
so disappointing.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that like, oh, it's not like it's okay that it's a racist image, but it's like, yeah, that's just something that happens.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that was just my very first thought.
Yeah.
I wondered if you guys noticed that as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a trend. It's definitely a trend, unfortunately.
I would say another, like, politically and, like, socially divisive thing about this movie, and it's something that my girlfriend Chloe actually brought up, is that the director and writer of this movie seems to really fucking hate women.
Yep, this movie is very sexist.
Yeah.
My god.
Women
are solely used in this movie to just like express the pure violence in the world. And like I'm not sure if it's like a proper reflection of how the writer or director would imagine the world would be in a dystopian Neo Tokyo where like evidently they'll run shit, or if it's like this is how this dude like wants it to be. But it's like, holy fuck, there's not
there's another interesting thing about Japanese culture, because Japanese culture, I think, is a little bit more sexist than American
100%.
culture, which is alarming, but that is definitely the case. And the other thing is that since this was made in '88 in Japan, that was also very much the trend to have these kind of tropes of characters that were extremely sexist. Again, it's another just disturbing, it's a fact about this movie that doesn't like excuse it from it being super sexist, and it's just one of those things now that we, maybe with time we can look back on and it will be less painful or offensive to see it more as like capturing a historical period. But it's still, because this movie doesn't feel dated and still feels so relevant, I found that really distracting too, about especially how sexist Kaneda is as a character, and just all the biker gang is. It's disturbing. It is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's something that I thought was interesting when you said that it kind of created like Tetsuo as the anti-hero. I don't think there's a single fucking hero in this movie. Everybody is so
awful.
Like, and that's one of the things that I love about this movie, is that they don't really. I mean, this like Neotopia in this movie is I'm trying to like phrase it right, but everybody, this movie's kind of about like people who are trying to survive after a disaster, and within this world, and this world is so what?
I just realized something. The real protagonist and the only character you can root for in this movie is the Colonel.
The Colonel's such a fucking asshole.
It's not. No, he's not. Listen. He goes to the meeting and goes to the rich people and is like, "Hey, you schmucks, you gotta stop this. You're gonna get everybody killed." And they're like, "Shut up!" And then I'm gonna have a heart attack.
The Colonel is such a fuck. Are you kidding me? He is he is the biggest goddamn hypocrite in this movie.
What do you mean?
Okay, listen. There's a fucking scene that you and I, Jared, laughed about as like a fuck ton last night. There's this scene where there's like a coup about to start, and the Colonel is walking out of the headquarters, and the government is like, "Man, fuck the Colonel. That guy's whack. He thinks whatever he's doing is right, but we know we're right." So the Colonel's like, "Well, okay, it's militant law now. Fuck that shit." And he's like, "My men are gonna shoot your men." And he's like, "Shoot that guy." And then one of his soldiers shoots the other guy, and then the other guy shoots that guy, and he's like, "Stop it! Why are you shooting each other?" And he was like, "You just fucking told him to shoot that guy."
You're hitting on a really interesting point about this movie, because obviously the hero in terms of film terms, meaning the protagonist who this story is about, is Kaneda. This is his story, and we're following Kaneda. But the problem is that this movie doesn't have the same kind of morals that a superhero movie is. He's not like Thor, who's the good guy, who we root for his morals. Kaneda's kind of a delinquent who does terrible things. A delinquent orphan who's actually also a drug addict in the lore.
And a capsule on his back,
Yeah, and the Colonel is established as being the antagonist of the film to these people, who Tetsuo and Kaneda are the people who we sympathize with the most. And then we have the revolutionaries, and then it sort of switches, where we sympathize more and more with the Colonel and his plight, and less with Tetsuo, obviously, and some of the other things. So that's kind of, I think you guys are tapping into some of what makes this story so interesting, is because of how the arcs of these characters are crafted, and it's not so in line about like, here's good and here's evil. Let's depict the battle. This is a much more complicated, like, epic of human emotions.
I just love how, I mean, like, I see this movie, I kind of see Tetsuo and Kaneda being like obviously the main characters of the movie. And it's kind of about how both these kind of kids, really, these that grew up with no supervision in this world, in the Neotopia, and how they deal with living in this world, and I think that like what you're saying is like kind of the almost like parallel narratives that are going on between Tetsuo and Kaneda are super, super, super interesting. And made this movie, like you said, like the arcs are not, they're not good, evil, they're very, they're blended. And those are the most interesting movies to me. I don't really want to see.
Agree.
I don't really like characters that are like, I mean, but like I just more interesting when you have a character that's not perfect.
Yeah.
None of these characters are perfect. They're violent. I mean,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but it's all in the service of this world and how I love. Another thing that we should definitely talk about is kind of the world building in this movie and
Yeah. So
how
incredible.
almost perfect it is. Like it is so. The beginning of this movie is so incredible because within a few shots of just scenes, you totally get this world. You totally understand with all the riots going on, all the shots of these barren streets in Tokyo that are filled with trash and these motorcycle gangs.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
It's absolute chaos, and that is kind of where the similarity to like Blade Runner ends for me.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That Blade. I was thinking about Blade Runner when I was watching this because I was thinking about how it's just in the cyberpunk genre. It's the futuristic, like technologically advanced but not utopian, dystopian world, and that's the same.
When did the manga for Akira come out?
In 1982.
Okay, so same year as Blade Runner.
Yep. It was just it's in the zeitgeist at the time to just start writing these cyberpunk stories, and it just was sort of the trend.
The same time period as Blade Runner 2, 2019.
It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. Humans think the same at strange times, but I totally agree. I think that and I think in addition to that, kind of talks about why the visuals of this movie are so important, because you really could just turn off all of the dialogue for this movie. This is another one that you can kind of get the full experience, especially from the movie, just watching how the world is depicted and how it's drawn. You don't really need anything else, and a lot of times you might argue with this version of it, since it crams so much story from the manga, and it's not necessarily the most sensical, I would say. I'm curious to see what you guys would think about the story in the movie adaptation. It still somehow creates, even if you don't quite understand what's going on, this through line that felt like I just experienced a full world. It's very, very interesting to me.
Also to like the animation, I read something where at the time, this is when Hayao Miyazaki in the 80s was kind of, so this article I was reading was talking about how influential and crazy the animation was in this movie when it came out, because they compared it to Nausicaa, like Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, and how I can't remember the exact numbers, but the frames per second were much lower than this movie. Because when I was watching this, I was like, "Holy shit! The animation of this is fluid as fuck." I mean, and I read that this movie had a big budget. It was like 11 billion yen or something like that, which I don't know how much that is in American dollars because I'm an idiot. But
I don't know off the top of my head either. I wish I had a conversion calculator.
That sounds like a lot.
Probably $1 billion anything is probably quite a good number.
And so, that's something that blows me away when I watch this movie, because I'm just like, especially like some of the stuff in the beginning, one of the beginning like motorcycle chase, that's so iconic. I mean, insanely iconic. That shit is fluid as fuck. It doesn't even look like animation. It looks computer generated. It doesn't look hand drawn, and that's something that is so impressive to me. And the end with the testicle monster, sexual. I mean the detail of this animation, where it's so impressive. Like him turning into that monster, you really look at that scene and you see the crazy detail that's going into that. Also, one of my favorite shots is when Tetsuo makes his metal arm. You see, like, each individual part, each tendon, like going in. It's so crazy.
Each thing that flies by is like 10,000 hours, 10,000 hours, 10,000 hours, 10,000 hours.
It's so like it's just so crazy, man. Like it's so impressive that like I love. This is why 2D animation's always king, right? It's because sure, like computer animation's fucking awesome. I'm not saying there's not artistry in that. There is, of course there is, but there's something about watching something that is created by a person, by hundreds of people by hand. You know what I mean?
The labor of love.
Labor.
Total labor of love, and it's so. This is why I want more 2D animation, man. I want it to come back in a way that because it's just there's something about it that is so awesome, you know.
Yeah.
Just,
there's a reason why all the best episodes of Love, Death, and Robots are 2D animated.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's true. I mean, like I think that show has some incredible CGI work too. I mean, like whatever Jarod was, the Witness. That shit looks crazy. I mean, I guess it's just different because to be a computer animator, I guess there's a lot more like practice and work that goes into that. And I think there's something about anybody can draw. You know what I mean? Anybody, and what's so cool is like there's this weird human connection to it. When I watch computer generated stuff, I'm like, how are they even doing this? Like, I don't even know what software. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
I think
when you're watching something that's hand drawn, you kind of know the process of what's happening, right?
I think it's an effective immersion. But Sean, did you figure out the conversion?
Yeah, so $1 billion US, 1 billion yen is $9.4 million today.
That's a pretty good budget.
That's a huge fucking budget.
It's like
good budget.
$100 million movie, basically. Holy fuck, bro.
I think that this process of why we still resonate so deeply with 2D animation is a reaction to where with 3D animation it's gonna figure itself out at some point. It's still really young.
I love 3D animation too. I mean, I love it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
there's some incredible shit going on in 3D animation.
But the emotional connection. Go ahead.
This is not a fair comparison, but the Shrek budget was $60 million US.
That's a great point, actually, that you made, because Shrek looks like garbage. Like, if you watch Shrek to this day, it looks crazy bad. And 2D animation kind of is timeless. It will never not be relevant.
2D animation is always going to be fucking impressive, because at the start, literally, like, a fuck ton of people drawing the same shit over and over again.
Dude, think about how many people
still better every year because technology always gets better.
Think about the amount of people that still watch Snow White to this day. That movie came out in 1939. You know, that's crazy. That's fucking insane.
Not to go off on a tangent, but to bring it back to the story and things like that, I was curious to know your guys' opinion. I was talking to Jarod about it last night. Like, I love this movie, and I love the animation. Like, obviously, that is the absolute best part of this movie. But I feel like if you take the story that we have in the movie, and then you try to adapt that into a live-action movie. Let's say it looks like Alita Battle Angel, and it's like fucking gorgeous. It's like the highest budget CGI movie ever.
Right.
Are you still gonna like this movie story-wise if you're seeing like actors play it out in real life?
That's a really good question, because they're actually making this into a live-action movie. Here's the thing. Here's my opinion about that.
It's been in development hell for a while now.
Yes, and it's finally being made, and this is why I'm actually kind of interested to see it, because of who's behind it. The guy who is directing it is named Taika Waititi, who directed Jojo Rabbit. I love Taika Waititi's films. I think his films are great. And I love his personality. I've seen interviews with him talking about this movie and his passion behind it. So I'm always interested to see that, but it's so hard to tell because live action remakes are famously fucking dog shit. I mean, there's not a lot of, especially ones that are based on animated things. Like last year, we had The Lion King, which I think is one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen in my life recently. So the fear is that they will do something not like The Lion King and just do shot for shot a remake of Akira. Like if they're gonna do a live action remake, I think they need to change the story. They need to make it its own thing. Like that's that's the things that I hate about live action remakes is they don't feel like their own movie. They just feel like just the same shit. So
this is veering very far off topic as far as like Akira goes. I feel like as far as live action remakes are concerned, I hope people are realizing that if you're trying to adapt something that is so in depth with lore and is taken from literature, something like Akira, the best way to do it is not in a movie. Like a 2-hour long movie is not enough time to like get into the depth of something like Akira.
Yeah.
You need like a mini series, especially if you're gonna do it live action. And if you want to get into the story of Akira, you need to do it in episodic content.
Or they're hoping that it will become a franchise and they make like 3 or 4 of them.
Here's the thing I always think about when I think of adaptation. You have to remember that Stanley Kubrick only did adaptations of books. All of his famous movies are adaptations of books. Alfred Hitchcock only did adaptations of books. It's not impossible to make a great live-action movie based off of literature and content. But the problem that you guys are both picking up on is that what these guys try to do is try to take exactly what's in those stories and tell it. Which, Sean, if you wanted to do all of that, you have to make it a series. You have to make it more than 2 hours.
Right.
But what you can't do is cram that into 2 hours. Because how can you make a book that takes 15 hours to read? How can you make that understandable in 2 hours of screen time?
And the way you do that is you make a 2-hour long animated movie like Akira, and you basically put the manga on fast forward for somebody to watch visually.
Well, here's the thing also about that, because the movie is nothing like how the manga story goes. It's completely different. So that's another thing that was the super smart decision he made.
The guy who directed this movie also wrote the manga too.
He wrote and drew it. He wrote and drew the whole thing.
That's so interesting.
And he was involved with the drawing and like the storyboarding process.
His own adaptation of the movie is different than what's in the manga.
Yeah, which again,
his own adaptation.
That's a credit to the artist understanding that like this form of media is not going to work if I don't make changes.
Exactly. Jarod, what was your opinion on that conversation? Because you guys, John, you were saying that you and Jarod were both talking about it, right?
Yeah.
What was your opinion, Jarod?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have like a super strong opinion about it. I really liked the story. I kept thinking when I was watching it, that the story felt paced in a way that was similar to Parasite. The most
Bong Joon-ho movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie.
And so I was just super into it. Like I didn't pick up every single detail about what exactly was going on, but I sort of enjoyed the effect of it.
I agree with
just
you.
not knowing exactly what was going on.
Absolutely, I agree with you. But I think what Sean and Jesse are kind of getting at is that this world is bigger than this movie, almost. And I think that if they're gonna do a live action adaptation, I kind of agree with what Sean's saying. Like the problem with this though is that if we're putting our producer hat on, a lot of money to make. There's special effects. There's a lot of money that you have to put into something like this that people might not watch. Unfortunately, that's why this movie has been in development hell, because it's a risk. This movie came out how long ago now? Like a while ago, and
Yeah.
you know, and so
40 years ago.
40,
yeah,
40.
it's hard to convince the
40.
studio to be like, hey, give me $200 million to make a remake or adaptation of this animated film that came out 40 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's, the fact that it's even happening is kind of shocking.
And it's also hard because it totally depends on, you know, Taika might be a badass. He is a badass. He makes great things.
Yeah.
But it totally depends also on the environment. If everyone is behind like making a movie that's fucking good and a good adaptation of story, or making a movie that fucking sells, because you can sell Akira so easily.
Well, that's
so
something
easily.
that I was thinking about too, because I was thinking about the live action remake too, and I was like, this movie can be turned into a superhero movie. You know what I mean? It could be. It's not, but it can be. Like, so that's a little bit of the fear that I have in mind, where maybe the studio was like, oh, this could be a new superhero thing. We can make like Tetsuo kind of this anti-hero superhero thing, which is a little disturbing to me, because I don't want them to turn this into, you know, a superhero franchise, because that's what's popping right now.
Yeah.
That's why they made it. I don't know. But
I don't know if I'm alone in this thinking or not, but like, I don't even want a live action remake.
I don't think you're alone.
No.
Like, when it comes to like Akira, the appeal is the art style of the fucking guy who made it. It's gorgeous fucking movie, and nobody makes like anime that looks like this.
Yeah.
When I say like I want episodic content of Akira, I want it to be fucking animated. And
I know. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I don't fucking need some whitewashed movie like Alita Battle Angel.
And I hope my version of like live action remakes, like, or remakes in general, I don't really care, because if they're bad, I can still watch Akira, you know. So like, I don't really care so much about that, but I mean, I totally understand what you're saying.
I hate it because it's a waste of resources that the fans don't even fucking want. They're trying to sell it to an audience that isn't aware of what the source material is. Why wouldn't you try to create something that appeals to an audience that already appreciates it, and then it can reach further than that?
The other thing that like hurts about it, about remakes, Alex, I think you're right, and I've built up more of a tolerance to stuff like that, because the more I've watched movies and I've had to just engage, especially with just like this remake hell that we've just been going through recently, you just kind of you just have to sort of like desensitize yourself to it, because the problem with all these films being remade, it's like, I don't like the idea of films needing updates necessarily. I'm fine with a new director being inspired to tell their story, that's saying, hey, I'm inspired by Akira. I want to tell my live action version of Akira, but it's my version. I don't want to like be sucking his dick and try to make
that. You know, I hope that that's what Taika is going to do. Taika is brilliant. I mean, I
wish he wouldn't just use the name. I wish he would just use a different name.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Like, if you are inspired by media, use it as inspiration.
Yeah. But it's a great selling point. That's a problem, especially with Americans, is that it's just so tied. And again, the other thing I was thinking about is just that the hard thing about remake material is like, even if it's business, it makes sense for business, like doing the Lion King and stuff. The thing that's about it that Americans don't care about, is that stories are not just stories that we watch and enjoy and we're done with. They are fucking part of our lives. And when they're good, they change and they morph our lives. So when someone remakes Akira and they do it badly, or even with Lion King and they do it badly, it's not just that they made a bad movie, it's that they have hurt me personally, especially when it's that good. Like, that's how I feel about it. It's like, I'm very emotional about these things. Not everyone thinks that way, but I think a lot of people do, and I think that's why there's such a huge outcry. There's always outcries about every movie ever made, but especially with remakes.
What's really annoying about, like, I totally understand. Like, when I saw Lion King, I felt like they stole money from them. I felt like it was such a fucking bullshit. It was literally like, let's do shot-for-shot remake with real lions, which is a stupid motherfucking idea. And like, it is a dumb idea. Like, what I was actually initially excited for the remake of The Lion King. We did this podcast like a year ago now, where I talked about the trailer, and I was like, dude, I'm excited about this because like I'm not opposed to like a remake of The Lion King if it was different. It was the same movie, everything down to the
Oh,
shots.
worse.
I mean, if you compare the animated and the live action, it is shocking. They did nothing. I mean, literally, it's like watching Lion King with no soul. And that is, why the fuck would someone watch that? But guess what? It made, I think, $1.3 billion.
Yeah.
So the problem is everyone is speaking with their wallet. So now Disney especially is like, look, people see these movies, we don't care, like they don't put effort into it. Like so the fear is that they're doing that with Akira. But like I said, Taika Waititi is a real filmmaker and I like his movies a lot. So I'm curious about it. I'm not like let's go, but
I'm curious until
but I also wanted to make a point too about remakes is that it's the fear is that you're going to Americanize it because Akira, something that we haven't even talked about, is this film is a response to World War II, kind of the bombings of Hiroshima and stuff like that, and so this is what this movie kind of is, like the opening shot, Akira is this weapon, this bomb that causes mass destruction, which is clearly kind of a metaphor for the horrible bombings that happened in Hiroshima, in World War II. So, like, the fear is that they're gonna like Americanize it, not make like because this movie is very connected to Japanese culture, and so it's like that is a huge fear of mine too.
Thankfully, Joe, we see that Taika has some tact when dealing with historical stuff with Jojo Rabbit because he dealt with Nazis really fucking well. So hopefully he can deal with this really well. If not, his career is over. Sorry.
I want to talk about Akira, the person, maybe.
Yeah, dude. Talk, lay it on me.
I started talking about
okay.
Lay it down.
I just want to. Okay. So my understanding of what Akira, the person, is that they were one of the Esper children.
Yeah.
Like the three old babies.
That could have
yeah, but he got too strong.
Yeah.
And then they turned him into organs and they froze him up in little separate tanks so that he couldn't.
Did you get that the explosion at the beginning was Akira?
Yeah.
Made that connection?
I don't even remember the beginning of the movie like it happened. I need to watch it again.
Is fucking awesome.
Like,
it literally opens with this giant explosion. The music, by the way, in this movie is
oh my god.
It's so
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So wild. The music is weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's very.
It might be my favorite.
Kind of reminded me of Blade Runner in a weird way. They're like not like it's spin on that kind of dystopian kind of music, but with this really cool like world, like different blendings of like
gamelan
world music.
He adds in gamelan music.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, it's really really cool. But so what Jesse's saying is like the opening explosion was Akira, causing all this destruction, which turned out to be Tokyo.
I'm kind of curious. I want to see you guys discuss the ending a little bit because I have some insider knowledge where I know what was intended by it, but I think this movie is kind of more interesting.
Yeah.
I think that you can experience this movie in a bunch of ways. I think the best way, if you want to do it for the story, is you read the manga and then you read the version of how it's emotionally told through the movie. But I think this movie also stands alone on its own as this more kind of like experimental, subjectively interpretive film.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm curious to see if you guys, Sean, have you read the manga?
I have not.
So I want to see what do you like Akira is the core of what this film means. So you guys, like, the opinions on what Akira is, because Jarod, you're not crazy for not knowing what the fuck Akira is and not quite getting that. You know,
I think Jarod has the best interpretation of like what happens to Tetsuo and like what Akira is out of like anything I've ever heard.
I want to hear. I want to hear it. I want to hear. I want to hear your opinion so badly, Jarod.
I mean, well, I don't know, but what I said immediately after watching it was like, okay, so he was freaking out. He couldn't control his shit.
Yeah, Tetsuo.
And then thank you. Yeah, Tetsuo. And then Akira, the boy, the consciousness of this boy got to him because they were in the organs or whatever. And then the white ball was like just was Akira's like consciousness that was like, because he's so powerful, he's just like an idea. He's just like whatever. And he gets
that was kind of my interpretation of it.
And he gets like eaten by the white sphere, and then it gets really, really tiny. And so what happened was that he like becomes like part of Akira. And Akira is just like this
the universe.
They make a new universe.
You're good at watching movies, Jarod. You're very good at watching movies.
Look at a new universe.
Yeah, I think
but that's the part that confuses me. I'm with you. He's becoming Akira. They're becoming one. Got it. And then a universe. Okay, you lost me.
Yeah, you know what confuses me is the last shot of this movie, of the last line, where it's like this voice that
I am Tetsuo.
Right, and I'm like, okay, who's that talking? What was that? Like, both times I watched this movie, I'm still like, I don't quite know what that was, but I don't really care. I mean, I think it's kind of right what Jesse said. It's up to interpretation of, that's kind of what it is. But yeah.
Sean, what was your progression of, like, since you watched it 4 times, did you have like a changing opinion of what the ending was, or did you like, this is what it is and it was like how it was every time?
If I'm being honest, like, this movie has gone over my head like almost every time. Like I'm like, oh wow, I fucking love how this movie is drawn, and it is so inspirational. Just like the fucking lighting is fucking insane. Like no fucking wonder everybody talks about this movie. But as far as like story is concerned, I'm like,
there's some movies like that for me too. Like The Shining for the longest time was that for me. I was like, I love this movie, but what the fuck is going on? But now I kind of have seen it so many times and I kind of have my own interpretation. But
I think it's also intriguing to have a movie that you don't really understand be so impactful to yourself.
Yeah. Absolutely. But like, me and Jesse talk about that all the fucking time. Like, The Lighthouse, one of my favorite movies, our favorite movie of last year. That is a wonderful example of what you're talking about. Like
I don't understand, but it changed me.
Yeah, it's like the ambiguity in film that stays in your brain like a termite. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Last night,
love it.
When we finished the movie, Jarod and I, at the end, Jarod was like, "Okay, so Akira made Tetsuo so small that he became one with the universe." And I was like, holy fuck. Like, and no fucking wonder it would cause such a fucking explosion for somebody. Because when we die, we become part of the universe, but nothing happens. And it's because we aren't immortal, all-powerful beings.
Right.
But if you're Tetsuo and you are constantly just exploding with power, and you become one with the universe, it is a fucking moment for the world. Yeah. And when, at the end of the movie, when Tetsuo says, I am Tetsuo, that is him accepting, like, all right, I don't have to fucking be a giant testicle baby anymore. I am done with power. I'm one with the universe. And I'm dispersing it throughout that.
I was like, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Really
yeah. I am very impressed by that, Jarod. You came up to those terms with those things like the very first time you watched it, because that's basically what everyone says the movie's about. Like that's basically it, you know.
Okay.
And we can get into lore about what everything happens, but for me, when watching it, it took me reading the manga and all kinds of other stuff to be able to even get to that point. Like I just couldn't, it just didn't even process what happened at the end. I just watched it and enjoyed the visuals of it, but it wasn't anything besides that. Yeah. So do you guys want me to get into like the manga process of it? Like what all the complicated stories? Or do you want to talk about it a bit more?
Yes, but I have one more thing I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So this, after watching this movie, it was giving me flashbacks or like similar feelings as watching Parasite, which I said, and definitely watching The Lighthouse, like Alex said. And I kind of thought about it. There's a lot of similar themes of like just losing your mind and like not being in control.
Oh my God, yeah.
I think both movies are also movies about you're almost a product of your environment. That's actually really interesting. Like because this movie, like Canada and Tetsuo are both products of their environment, right? But in two different kind of ways. Yeah. That's really interesting. I never even thought of it.
It definitely made me realize that I have like this fear of losing control of my mind. Or like that's just like something that's really scary to me.
Dude, and it works so well with Tetsuo as a character because he's never had control in his entire life. He looks up to everybody in his life.
I just got chills. I just got chills.
When he's talking about there's that great scene where when he gets out of when he escapes the hospital and he's with his lady friend.
Kaori. Kate.
Oh my God, she just gets smushed and he's like, oh.
Honestly though, that's like the most gut-wrenching scene in the entire movie. He's like,
oh, it's awful.
It's like that's the only time he's cared about somebody dying in this movie. And he's the one who fucking caused it.
Right.
Like,
Jesus Christ.
At any point in this movie, Tetsuo could easily kill Kaneda, but Tetsuo is just showing off the fact that he doesn't fucking need this guy anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Jesse, I also wanted to ask, before we start deep diving into the ending a little bit more. I took some notes while we were watching the movie. Yeah. And I was wondering if I could share my screen real quick and we could look at my notes.
Yeah,
of course, yeah.
I got some notes right here.
Okay, cool. Let's we're back online. Go.
Yeah, we're back online. Okay. So we got some. Okay, let me share the screen here. This one. Can y'all see it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're recording.
All right, Sean. Take us through this.
Okay. So I just wanted to show my notes because holy fuck, was this such a fun movie to take notes during? Like, if you don't take notes during a movie, you need to start because this movie was so fucking fun.
Yeah, okay. I love taking notes.
I want to go over the funny lines that were said in this movie.
Yeah.
Most of them were made by the Colonel.
Yeah.
He said, he walks into a room and he goes, "Damn it, where are my men at?" And like literally, like I'm pretty sure most of them were in like the other room. But then also like we can go over whatever you guys deem. I just wanted to show you.
I love this. Can we post this on the Thicc and Butter?
Yeah,
dude, please. Also, if you guys need a thumbnail, like a guest artist for your thumbnail,
please, if you would want to do that for us, that'd be super duper awesome.
Yeah, say less. Just tell me what your proportions usually are, and I'll make one.
Cool. Well, we'll make that happen. Okay, so we'll probably assemble that in some kind of way and not the real-time fashion that was actually presented in, but we'll figure out something that's artistic.
I wanted to ask you guys all a question. We do, I think we do this like every episode. what is your favorite scene in this movie? Like,
Yeah.
what's a scene that you could just watch on a loop? I know what mine is. But
Fuck.
so I'll say mine first.
Okay.
Mine is without a doubt when Tetsuo is in the hospital and he has the kind of those dreams of the stuffed animals, like the giant stuffed animals coming out. And
Bro,
that scene is so awesome because it's
what
basically it's like this psychological horror thing that just is in this movie, and it's frightening. It's so surreal and disturbing, and it kind of and like we haven't even talked about like this movie's R-rated. This is like there's no censoring going on at all. This is a violent movie. It's a disturbing movie, and I think within that scene is when he uses his power for the first time and blows up those three guys in the hallway.
Yeah.
The
That's
lights
absolutely
just
yeah, the blood's everywhere. Oh my god, that long shot of it is it's frightening. It kind of reminds me of
Tetsuo escaping the hospital is fucking wild.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But so that's like definitely my favorite sequence in the movie for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I will go next, and I think that for me, it was I could watch that. It's all the scenes of Tetsuo fucking shit up with his powers.
Yeah.
Because I love the bike scenes. I love like every single scene of this movie is somewhat iconic to me, except for maybe some of like the council meeting stuff. Although I do like those scenes.
I don't ride motorcycles, but I want Canada's bicycle, man.
I know.
I want it, man.
Does every preteen in the world just dreams of that bicycle? Yeah, but for I think
it has a Canon sticker on it. You notice that?
Yeah. Evo actually pointed that out to me that there's like a Canon camera.
It's really funny.
I think the whole ending to me when Kaneda is just sort of flexing the whole time, just where you see all the crazy stuff happening and leading up to him like getting his arm, just that.
Yeah.
Just the whole sequence where like shit just starts getting destroyed and like the Neo Tokyo that was already at shambles just went over the precipice and everything went crazy. Just like I could that's fine. That's all I need.
I mean also when Tokyo is turning into a testicle monster, that image, I mean, that scale that you get, I mean, like that's one thing like in this movie, like that like perspective is that's such an important thing in film, right? And this movie, like
you mean that bird eyes like perspective over top when you see him like billowing?
Big,
he's big.
Like, so does such a great job of doing that.
I love that at the end, like you can tell that this is like a power that Tetsuo accepted because he's been powerless his entire life. But at the end of the movie, he's like, well, fuck, like, this is going a bit further than I anticipated.
I mean, it's actually pretty disturbing when Canada is trying to save him and he gets engulfed, and Tetsuo is screaming for his life. Like, he is terrified, he's scared.
Yeah.
And that...
Dude.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking,
Yeah.
He didn't want to kill his girlfriend.
No.
He meant to kill everybody else in the movie. He did not want to kill her. And that was honestly the saddest part of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it just goes to show more and more how, like, this guy, like, is just in a situation that he didn't ask for.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't, like, he had no intention of doing any of this.
Mm-hmm.
He's just going with what happens when, like, you give somebody like Tetsuo this much power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. How about you, Jarod?
Well, the fake answer is when, right after the colonel is like, Tetsuo, take these drugs and you'll chill out. And he's like, no! And either like Tetsuo starts coming after him, or maybe that's when the Akira ball of light starts growing, but the colonel, like, it's like a close-up on his face and he looks at it and he's like, all right, here's how I go. And he pulls out his pistol and he's like, I mean, it completely took me out of it, but I laughed so hard. It was so awesome.
You were laughing.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Also, the craziest thing too is that, like, we didn't talk about that when Canada gets engulfed into the, you know, I mean, that is a fucking bizarro scene. You know,
Yeah.
when,
nightmare.
Yeah, it's like you're like, what is going on? Like, it's so surreal, and you're seeing all these memories, and you're seeing like all those Tetsuo's upbringing. Like, it's a crazy scene, crazy scene.
Yeah.
But my real favorite scene, is probably after Tetsuo runs away from the hospital the first time, and he like ends up on Kaneda's bike.
He steals Kaneda's bike.
Yeah. With his girlfriend, and then the 3 biker dudes from the other gang come up and fuck him up.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he starts hallucinating. And
oh
like
my
his
god!
guts fall out.
Oh my god!
Awesome.
That was so sick.
When the
I
guts,
was blown away
when his guts fall out of him, and then like the next scene is him picking them up, but there's no actual guts there. It's like, oh my god,
so genius!
Like, even to this day, like, there's so many, like, we just talked about, you know, Wizards, which is like, you know, an adult animated film. This film is dark. I mean, like, that shit is dark, man. Like, and, you know, it's crazy still to this day, it's still crazy to see in animation, but it's awesome, you know.
I know,
it's just so different. It's just so different than America, you know. It's just like, there's animated films with an R rating. I can't even name an American, like,
I feel like,
you know,
unfortunately, in America, cartoon, like, animated movies are seen as for children, and that's why they do well, because families take them to see, like, the kids' movie.
Yeah. And I think there's an art to, like, you know, obviously there's an art like Pixar, where they're kind of making movies for everybody, you know.
I think if you want, like, adult animation in the United States, you have to go to Adult Swim.
Yeah, that's basically it. And you're not seeing feature length movies.
And that's even more like comedy. You know, there's not a lot of, like, serious animated films. Like, this film is not comedy at all.
Yeah. You're right.
You know,
it's just
there's a lot of adult
serious
animation.
in tone, not in intention.
Yeah, exactly,
Like, they're serious because they can get away with it, but, like, they're not started to be serious. Rick and Morty, at the base of it, is a comedy with serious tone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And adult themes.
Right. Yeah. Midnight Gospel too.
Yeah, that's another one.
Absolutely. Right. Well, that's the thing. Netflix has the power to do this.
I know. We and Jesse talk about that all the time, man. Like, Netflix it's so, like, you know, there's pros and cons to streaming services, and that's a pro, man. They could put it, like, the Midnight Gospel, like, if that was a show that, like, they pitched that to, like, Fox in, like, 1990, they'd be like, get the fuck out of here, you know? That wouldn't see the light of day at all, you know?
Like, here's the thing, though, and this is a tangent off Akira, but it's like, you have, like, the beautifulness of Midnight Gospel, which is, like, an expensive anthology series that also has, like, a continuous adult narrative, but then you also have their shitty-ass original movie, Tall Girl, that makes infinitely more money, gets infinitely more talked about, and it's like, well, what are they supposed to do? Like, the shitty shit that they put out makes more money.
I think, it's weird, because I think, like, what I like about Netflix is they kind of are making everything for every demographic, right? I mean, what I was talking about with one of my friends is, like, Netflix has kind of become the new Disney Channel, in a way. Remember, like, Disney Channel original movies?
Dude,
they don't exist anymore. Like, they are all on Netflix.
Yeah.
Any Disney DCOM movie could be a Netflix original. It just
1,000%.
So true.
I think that, like, the Kissing Booth, dude, Like,
fucking 13th year.
They're all, they could easily be. I just thought that was so. It's just, the times are changing, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sean, did you say your favorite? Get to say your favorite part?
No.
Say your favorite part.
Yeah,
Okay.
say it.
It's cliche, but I think my favorite part is probably just the Shakespearean opening scene. Because as you guys were talking about world building, the only thing I can think about is the beginning of this movie.
Yeah.
Nothing establishes the world of Akira than entering this seedy ass bar. Fucking Kanada's picking the music before he's picking the music to fucking leave. Like, are you kidding me? This guy's a fucking like.
Also, when he does that, you're like, okay, well, this is the coolest guy to ever live, right?
Like in my notes, I wrote like Akira does a fucking fantastic job of making a racist, sexist, homophobic Neo Tokyo seem like the coolest time to go out.
Yeah. Holy shit! Yeah.
Runner too, right? It's like that world is so like gross and disgusting, but it's like, that's a cool place, man.
But like, holy shit, that guy's got a dank ass bike and he doesn't give a fuck.
And the funny thing that we can reflect on real life too is that that's literally our world right now. So you can actually, I think the perspective you can get out of great movies like this and like Blade Runner 2 is that's like, oh, I wish I could live in the futuristic world. It's just like, no, I just wish I was cool like Decker. I wish I was cool like Kanada.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Akira is such a funny movie because of the way that the way cyberpunk attacks like the way the future is supposed to be like Akira takes place like a couple of years after 2019, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like seeing people still use like dial-up and not having cell phones, but also having like flying cars and like fucking motorcycles that go 170 miles an hour.
That like fold in on the
exactly.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
I mean, I love it. I love Blade Runner has shit like that too, where it's like they're talking. There's like video calls, but they're like on the walls. It's
funny to see how like people just thought that the future wouldn't become more convenient and more so like more outlandish. The future to people in the 80s was like, oh man, fucking flying cars. There's so many cities. There's
what's cool about Akira is it takes the perspective of after this huge disastrous event, technology probably gonna progress forward, but some things did. So it's like just this interesting blend of like, they're still using dial-up phones, but they also have fucking motorcycles that can be, fold in on themselves.
Yeah. It's just so funny to see a future where cell phones don't exist.
It's kind of it's like every time you see something set in the future, peaceful. Yeah, it's peaceful. It's peaceful and quiet. No space.
How are they going to communicate? No Instagram.
Right.
They communicate through biker gang social media.
I am running out of time with you, gentlemen.
Okay. I was just going to say, we've been talking forever.
Yeah, do you guys want to wrap up, or do you want to quickly go over some of the extra details about it? From like the extracurricular, because we can just leave it at that. I don't have to bring in the manga at all.
Just leave it at that. I think we covered a lot of things in this movie.
Well, let's have a vote. Let's the best 2 out of 3. Alex votes no.
This podcast needs a part 2.
Part 2, yeah.
We can also do that too.
Give me the most mind-blowing fact.
Okay, well, I will keep this less than 10 minutes. I'll keep this like a 5 minutes compact little thing, because the biggest thing about this, literally what the ending of the movie is about, is that we're just like about to like end it and stuff, and you can hear me rant about. You can't hear them at all, can you? I don't actually know.
Hear me.
I don't know how to make you loud. Here, let me just get through this real quick, and then I'll figure that stuff out. the ending of Akira, what literally happens is that, according to the resources and stuff, is essentially what you guys explained, which is that Akira comes out from his existence where he has basically ascended to a different universe,
Right.
and has come and taken Tetsuo. And the Tetsuo at the ending, what the observations are, is that Tetsuo has become a universe. So that's what him saying, I am Tetsuo. That's like his alternative dimension.
Like, I am, a god. Like,
I am a god. Yeah. So it's literally that they like exactly what you were saying. But the thing that's crazy about this is that we don't really have much answers to what happens in this movie based on the manga, actually, because this movie is a completely separate entity. Because what happens after this in the manga is that we then go into an even deeper apocalyptic world where Akira and Tetsuo become tyrants. Kaori doesn't die and becomes like a part, like kind of like Tetsuo's companion in leading like these new rebels around. And so everything's fucking different. Like all the people who die at the end actually exist and become a part of the world and don't resolve like that at all. So really, the manga can explain things like, where do the powers come from? What is the government doing? Why does Tetsuo get powers? Those questions can be more explained through the manga and stuff. But the ending to this movie and what this movie kind of means, it's like it's just kind of its own separate entity. So that's what I really love about this, is that even though it's so connected to the manga and it's the same story, but it's like it's its unique piece. It doesn't have you can't touch it.
Dang.
I find that
break my heart.
But if I do suggest you read the manga, because it will make the story make so much more sense.
I like that. It appears that in the manga, it touches so much more on like the religious power of, the religious aspect of power.
Yes.
Like in the manga, Akira and Tetsuo become like deities and like gods and shit like that.
We will talk about how like Akira is seen as like this
god.
Like
Jesus Christ figure.
Yes.
So fascinating. Considering that, he's the one that caused, this whole Neo-Tokyo thing, which is so fascinating,
Yeah.
In the movie, it feels much more like a critique rather on like questioning who is in charge of what. Like in the movie, it's really interesting because the military overthrows the government because the military feels like the government isn't making right decisions when it comes to like the ultimate power, which is Akira and Tetsuo.
Yeah,
right.
But what's really interesting is like, as a viewer, I don't think the military is making any good decisions either. Like the fucking colonel is a hypocrite. Right. He's like yelling at the scientists like, "How could you let this happen? You're a fucking monster!" Like. You fucking knew that he was going to be this all-powerful god. When in reality, the colonel fucking knew that. He just is using the fucking scientist as a scapegoat.
Yeah, and the cool thing about like what you're talking about, which I saw this comment that I thought just struck so true about why I love movies like this, movies like The Lighthouse, is that, or Parasite, all these movies. You watch these movies an indefinite amount of times, and every time you catch a little detail that just totally changes a character arc and just flips it on its head. It's just like, my experience of who this person is totally different than the first time I watched it. And I totally believe that this movie has like has so much that you can get out of it, and you can just watch it over and over again. That being said, not everyone likes it. I watched this with Eva, and Eva didn't want to watch it. She didn't like it. So it's not for everybody, too. So I think it's perfect, but
it's
very violent.
Yes.
I think we all need to acknowledge our bias.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Let's do a tradition here where, Thicc, I assume you like this.
Yeah.
I also like this. Did you guys like this?
Like what?
The movie? Did you dig it? Yeah. Did you dig it?
Dude, I fucking loved it.
Sean, you must have hated it.
I absolutely adore this movie.
Fuck! Well, I guess that means that this movie is... Are you guys ready? You guys know what I'm about to do?
No, what?
It's thick and buttery.
It's thick and butter approved. It's thick and buttery. Let's say that this time. Let's say thick and buttery approved. Can we all say that together? Are you guys ready? You guys ready? Thick
and
buttery approved. Good job, guys. If Jarod, do you need to go?
Yeah, I need to go.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
Jarod,
I gotta pee really bad.
you can here. Let me pull out my disaster. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Eva.
Hi, Eva.
Hello.
Okay.
What?
What's happening?
Okay, I got things. I think I got things figured out. Okay, so you can say hi to Eva before me.
Hi, Eva.
Hi, Eva.
How's school?
Good. I learned how to TA today, so now I can teach shit.
Oh, that's
So,
dope.
do you get
Learn
money
how
for
to
that?
tits and ass.
Dude, it's my
Hey, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah, dude. I gotta come out there again. I gotta see you guys both.
Yeah, you
And the Bears.
I missed Eva when I was there.
Everyone come out.
Yeah,
Dude.
in the Rada.
Yeah.
Say less.
Hope we got a lot of floor space.
Yes, there's like a ton of space. Totally have like 5 rooms here.
Yeah,
Yes.
easily fit everybody.
Dope.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you so much
Wanna
for
end this?
with us.
Yeah.
Dude.
Think I got somewhere to be? Handy. I can't go anywhere.
That's very true. Still the Pandy. Pandy in 2020, baby.
If you guys want to shout out the podcast, tell your mom and dad and sisters and brothers.
Hey, yo, Kelly.
Hey, yo, Kelly. All your acquaintances, anybody that you care about, tell them about us.
We're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that shit, man. All that jazz. We will announce, I don't know what we're going to do next week, but we'll announce that on the Instagram. I don't know how we're going to do yet. Because I've forgotten. So, thank you guys so much for listening. We love you. Akira, bye-bye.